Thank you very much, Jason. Appreciate it. Been doing so much work here tonight, so I figured I'd get in here and pitch in a little bit extra. Bert, let's start with a couple of wins in a row, non-conference. What you want to see? Tell me about explosive innings yesterday versus just sort of a workman-like effort today.
Right. I think this is one of those wins that, from the top down, starting with me, it requires maturity and perspective and a balance of your thoughts and your emotions, because there's a part of us that says exactly that. That's a couple of wins in a row. We've done some great things, and we run a program where we always want to pull the positives out of it. We want to stay upbeat going into conference play and be proud of it. But there's the other side of that that requires balance, in which we have to know that some of our execution was not the best baseball execution earlier in the ball game, right? And so a credit to them in the way that they competed, and a credit to our guys for finding a way to get a win and to grind it out. So tomorrow, I think, is about us waking up and being proud of those good facts, but knowing that there's work to do to sharpen the iron a little bit.
Well, and midweek, as you know, especially with 2 games back-to-back, it's so much about getting a guy coming in and giving you some innings on the mound. Tell me a little bit about the pitching and being able to, turn it over guy to guy to guy and have guys being able to string together zeros for you.
It's opportunity. At every turn, it's opportunity. And it's not about the results. It's about the way in which those take place. And so for the guys that had success, it's not about just the individual. The guys had success playing against the game in the way of throwing strikes and competing in the strike zone or whatever. And where we failed tonight in the results category was, they scored 5 runs. 3 of those 5 runs are walks and HBPs. One of them is the error we made on the bunt play. And so not competing correctly in the hitting zone or in the strike zone led to some of that, right? And so it's about those opportunities and going about your opportunities the right way, and then creating momentum for the baseball team that brings it back to our side, right? There was those middle innings, beginning and middle innings, where you could feel it all around. You could feel it by the players on the field. You could feel it in the dugout, right? And you'd like to think that in other ball games, right, if the score is 8-5, we're going to be pretty upbeat. And so the lack of emotion and energy comes about because we're not executing baseball in a clean and proper manner. And that's what we want to fix.
So beautiful facility, obviously, the new field, the bullpens. You operated without a scoreboard tonight. Take me back to the last time you were part of a game where you didn't have a scoreboard in front of you.
Well, to be honest, and not to joke, but I mean, when my son's baseball, they rarely run scoreboards. And you go recruiting over the summer at select ball tournaments, and they don't run scoreboards. And so, look, man, like, our guys are used to that. And we talked about it as a way of being informational, but that's not an excuse. That has no bearing on winning and losing or the way in which we played. And so it's a unique situation, and we all get to experience that. But at the same time, there's an element of us that's proud of our guys for going to war no matter what. Anywhere, anytime, anybody. The Demons are going to put their fists up, scoreboard or not, and that's what we did.
Well, you'll be proud to know Jason Pugh didn't mess up without a scoreboard until the 8th inning, so it took him a while. Speaking of going to war, going to battle, doesn't get a whole lot bigger than this weekend as you hit the road for conference play. Tell us about that matchup against an old friend.
Yeah, maturity and perspective, because there's a part of you that wants to be excited about all of those elements. There's a part of you that wants to be excited about going to see your friends. There's the competitor in us that is welcoming that battle and that challenge, right? But at the end of the day, we have to balance that and be mature about the idea that it opens conference play, right? We have to accept the challenge of going face the preseason pitcher of the year on a Friday night and knowing what type of battle and what type of challenge that is, right? We have to answer the bell about real life elements of baseball, and it's okay to talk about those things, but once you talk about them one time and you kind of say, yes, we're excited about that, it has to get back to business and it has to get back to baseball.
I'll get back to business, sir. Congratulations on the win.